Breathing underwater. Can't let you go now. Making it so hard. You got to know now. Ooh, taking it too far. Nothing to hold now. I'm falling apart. Out in the cold now. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater now. I can't let go.
goes to the opposite side as J-Dubs meets Bankai, and Bankai wins that one, controls this, looking for a dribble play, nice flick back wall, looking for a demo, can't quite get there, but bumps him and it gets the goal as AFK. What a team play right there. That was planned.
Yeah, you know, usually we see the Goomba Stomp come into effect, but not a personal Goomba Stomp, because that was just absolutely well
dangerous
planned.
Play across the net there. You usually don't see that a lot in Origin League. That's more of a, sorry, you don't see that in Elite League. That's more of an Origin play. Slasher with a good shot. Bar Downskis, they're going to open this one up 1-0, 4:10 left. Slasher taking the lead for the Gators.
Yeah, and I must say, that's a great shot there by Slasher. We're really seeing the mechanics in the beginning of this game.
Costin coming up the ceiling, Poofy getting bumps, Spooky having to come in, and Schlumpy trying to go in and can't quite get there. And we are coming up on about 3 minutes to go. Costin coming off the back wall, getting the double. Oh my gosh, Austin, tell me what just happened.
My goodness, what a snipe there. I mean, Costin came up, and I thought for sure from my angle there that Poofy was going to get that challenge and it was going to work. But Costin...
Welcome back to Frontier Doubles League. Tonight on our Saturday night stream, we have Elite League Owls versus Huskies, and series score, we're looking 5 wins, 3 losses to the Owls, 6 wins, 2 losses to the Huskies, and I'm joined here by my amazing co-host today, KG Fan 3.
How's it going, Clover? I'm excited for this night. I feel like there's got to be some sort of playoff implications going on here, at least some way, possibly, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to find out, but I think this game's going to be quite interesting. Elite League is always fun to watch, and if you don't mind, I say we get these guys in here and get this game started right up.
I agree, and I think I'm going to let them know right then and there. I'm excited for this one. We got Bankai and Exy on the Owls, and we've got Poofy and Mayo on the Huskies. Bankai and Poofy gonna meet each other, and the cheat goes on for both teams, and this is going to lead into Owls territory. Exy does not get the boost, turns on it and gets a 50. Mayo a little touch, a little dangerous. It is not going to go in, and Bankai doesn't get a save, but is able to get it away. Exy's got some boost here, getting chased down by Poofy, and Mayo's able to push this away to start, and 15 seconds in. Nice bump by Bankai on Mayo. Mayo goes flying. Bankai trying to turn on it and getting a little confused with Exy, and unfortunately nobody takes advantage of that, but the clear is had by the Owls, and right off the bat, both teams, it looks like they're just still feeling each other out.
Yeah, and it's always good to be aware of what your opponents can do, especially up here in these ranks, but ooh, we've got a big 50 coming from the Owls. Poofy's going to try and send this one right back. However, Bankai's going to 50 that, keep it in the Huskies side of the field. Mayo getting a clear upward. Exy a little awkward. He's going to try and take this back. Does get a good 50. He will have possession here, but Mayo turning for the challenge. Gets a little shot on goal. Not going to go in, though, because Bankai will be there. Exy, not a lot of boost. Tries to go for the demo on Poofy. Poofy taking this one up the wall. Gets a reset. Uses it, and it will go in over both of the defenders there. Great play.
Was a nice play. Nice dodge by Poofy to read that too. And then right here, that's a powerful flip reset, 55 miles an hour. And I don't think there was a deflection, and that's a really good hit. So we're going to see Exy and Mayo meet. Actually, they do 51 by the Owls. Exy trying to control this. Poofy has the boost. One by Exy, bumped away. Bankai gets saved by Mayo. Nice shot on goal, but a great save right there. Exy with no boost and is able to take the mid. Lets Poofy drive away with no boost. Bankai missed touch. That ball has a chance to go in, and does. And look at this. Mayo with a crazy angle goal and a nice touch.
Indeed. We're looking at a little mistake there from Bankai, not quite catching that ball, and Mayo will capitalize on that and take the Huskies to 2-0 in this game. 3 minutes 30 on the clock. Let's see who we've got on kickoff. We've got Poofy and Bankai meeting in the middle, going into the Owls side of the field. However, we're going to see a little bit of an air dribble play from Exy here, trying to pop this one up to middle, trying to get a pinch maybe. Poofy does block it though. Bankai a little far back, but he will push up on Poofy for the 50. We're going to see another 50 onto the Huskies backboard. Poofy with a great save from Exy's shot. Now we're going to see Poofy try to control this one, try and make it a little awkward for Bankai to not take possession. Bankai, sorry. I'm all over the place right now.
It's all right. It gets pretty crazy. Oh, nice miss by Poofy, or sorry, a nice fake by Bankai, and Bankai almost gets the flick, and it crossbars down and out. A little awkward for Mayo, a little bit of a touch by Exy. Can Poof get on this? Doesn't have the boost, but Mayo beats Bankai and clears it out, and that opportunity there maybe was pretty much easily pushed away by the Huskies. This is a little dangerous. Bankai does not have the boost. Mayo back wall. Poofy's coming up on it, but Exy's there. Nice little touch, but Poofy does not follow it up, giving Bankai a chance to get back and get that boost and get up and get a clear away. Mayo still has a lot of boost left, going for a flip reset. Exy's able to dodge the demo and get the save and get the boost, and now trying for their own counter attack here, but unfortunately it's stopped by Poofy there, Clover.
Indeed, and that was very well played there by Exy. We're looking at an air dribble bunt from Poofy. I can't speak. From Poofy, sorry.
You're good.
Okay. Anyways, we got a shot from Poofy, though. Barely off, though. Trying to go for the double off of the post there. Not quite getting it, though. Bankai pushing this one up to the Huskies side of the field. They need a shot here in order to catch up from their 2-goal deficit. However, Poofy with an amazing flip reset. Exy with a better save. Mayo trying to take this over to the sidewall, trying to put another shot on, hold the pressure that they have. Bankai and Exy kind of double committing on this ball a little bit. Could be a little awkward, not a lot of boost to work with. However, Bankai will go first and will buy his teammate some time to get that boost that he needs. And we're going to see Exy up for this ball, trying to take a shot. Mayo will block it, though. Mayo saving as much boost as he can after that save. Ooh, great save there from Poofy, bouncing it kind of off of his post. Mayo with a shot. Will they have enough boost to get back? Bankai, great save there. A little scary. We are seeing a little bit of danger, though. Exy has to control this ball off of his back wall. He's going to try and flip this one out. Can't quite do so. Poofy, he's there for the pickup, but won't take the shot. Mayo trying to hold as much pressure as he can for Poofy to get some boost. Poofy going in for another 50. Exy rushing back to his net. We're going to see Poofy trying to take the Owls' corner boost there. And we're not looking at great, I guess, counters from the Owls here. And they really need to step up and say something.
Yeah, they're definitely, as that happens, of course, they come by an Exy with a good solo play, taking control of the ball as Mayo can't quite get a hit on it. And gets it around Poofy, who pulls up just a little too close without being aggressive. With 21 seconds, though, that makes this a real game for it. They have the chance to get back to tie this up. Mayo and Exy meeting. That's a big 50 win, with Bankai chasing down Poofy, giving maybe a little bit of bump, trying to pass it to Exy. Exy going for it and does not get it. This is going to be dangerous as Mayo barreling down on it, getting that boost, and it goes high in the air, trying to keep this down. Poofy with almost a double tap. Exy's coming up the wall with it. There's a chance here, but unfortunately it looks like it comes off the wall, and that's going to be pushed down by Poofy and ends this game 1. And what a game it was, Clover.
Agreed, and a great match to start off. Really feeling out each other on the teams. And I think with the pressure that the Huskies had, it's going to be a little difficult for them, I would say. They're seeming a little scared on defense. Like, their defense has been insane this game, but just not quite enough, because the Huskies will attack and pounce on any opportunity that they have, and we were able to see that. But I'm hoping that this game 2 is going to be more sided towards the other side. All they need to do is keep up their pressure, keep up their touches, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think that was they started to get a little, I would say a little, some of the things started to flow at the end, but they weren't quite, I can't say fast enough. The touches weren't quite there. The Huskies were reading it, but they started to pick it up a little bit more and get used to the Huskies. So I'm thinking that game 2 is going to be a fun one, because this was such a fun one. And it's not like the Huskies were like losing it. It's just that I think the Owls were starting to pick it up. So I feel like this game's going to be even closer, if that makes any sense.
100%. And I'm hoping that we see a lot more action this game. I mean, not to say last game didn't have any, but only 3 goals in a game? I'd like to see more than that from both sides of the team. Now we've got, I believe, Mayo and Exy on this kickoff. Let's see who meets it. We're going to see a little bit of a win from the Huskies. Poofy up for it on the cheat. Bankai getting bumped to his back wall. Exy controlling his corner boost and the ball. However, Mayo going in for a challenge there. Smart play. Bankai not a lot of boost. He can't really do much with that ball, but he will clear it out enough to make Poofy a little awkward. Exy pushing this to the sidewall, trying to read it. Will get the double. He's going to choose to stay on this ball, try and just make it a little awkward. Bankai getting a touch to the Huskies' corner. Poofy controlling this ball, going for a little bit of an air dribble. Trying to go for a dribble play, but gets bumped by Bankai. We're going to see the Owls be able to clear this one out to their corner. Mayo staying on this ball. We're seeing a lot of pressure here from the Huskies, and I'm hoping we see a counterattack here from the Owls any second now.
Yes, Poofy trying to take control. Exy's going to pop this in the air. Mayo's up in the air already. Exy's able to get around one. Bankai's going to go for it. Does. Poofy meets him, and it hits a 50 into the corner with Exy trying to take control, getting chased down and getting sandwich demoed. Mayo getting the credit for it. Bankai is able to get there. Poofy decides to stay away a little bit, and Poofy trying to do a pinch. Exy turning around in time and getting a good play. Trying to push it past Mayo. Mayo gets bumped by Exy, but is able to get and recover very well. And right now, still 0. Nice move by Bankai. Now pushing it forward. Mayo chasing Exy down a little bit and trying to get Exy out of position. And does as now Poofy trying to come back. Flicking this one. Exy having to get up and getting a good save. And man, both teams are playing really well, reading each other very well. Nice bump by Exy. And Clover, no real clear advantage right now, other than I would say the Huskies, who are, probably have a little bit more. Can they get there in time? Yes, they can, Clover. What a save.
My goodness, this game it's been so close already, and Poofy going for another counter shot. Exy is there for the save. Mayo, not a lot of boost to put a shot on net. We're going to see another shot from Poofy here. Exy trying to clear this over his back wall. Mayo trying to stay on with this little boost that he has. Exy going to go for a flick here on Poofy. He will get the save, though. Poofy's going to try and stay on this, get it over Bankai. But does it somewhat. Exy, potential double tap here, and we're going to see that one go in. That's goal 1 to the Owls with 2:42 remaining.
Nice car control right here. Good touch, just barely getting over Mayo, and unfortunately, take over Clover. I disappeared.
So am I, and with the Owls being in the lead now, maybe 2 goals, and that will be another goal for the Owls off of the kickoff. Great cheat there from Bankai, reading that ball going up, and great kickoff there from Exy to push that one a little forward so the Huskies would be awkward there.
Yeah,
now,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm back.
It's looking like the tides have turned into the Owls' favor, but I was just about to ask, do you think the Huskies can come back here?
Oh, definitely. This is a 2-goal lead. It's halfway through. Plenty of time on the clock. Poofy pushing up. They won last game, so I would say definitely possible. Mayo with a nice touch, and can that sneak in? No, it goes wide. Exy flying up there. Mayo with a good touch, looking for a great play. Can not quite get it. Can Exy get there? No. And Poofy slams it home, and that's the pressure that they've had all game long finally coming to fruition.
And that's very well played there by the Huskies. Great pass from Mayo, just barely out of the net, but it does make the Owls a little awkward there, so Poofy is able to put that shot in. We're going to see a kickoff win here from the Owls. Bankai's going to chase this one down with low boost. Poofy getting the pinch to make Bankai a little awkward. Exy going to try and control this ball, just bangs it towards the Huskies side of the field. We're going to see Mayo clear this one out to the side to Poofy. Mayo's going to try and sneak out and get that mid boost, maybe a bump, however, will not get there in time to get the bump. Exy trying to make it a little awkward, goes for a little bit of a pass. Bankai not quite able to put a shot on. Now we're going to see Mayo with all the boost. He's going to try and take this to the wall. Maybe pass to Poofy. Now Mayo's really trying to boost starve these Owls to make them awkward on defense. And Poofy, not quite the best shot. Definitely off. It could be a counterattack for the Owls, though. However, Poofy will be back for this one. Going up in the air off of his back corner. He's going to try and go for a bump here. Can't quite get it, though, because Exy does not jump. Very well read. Now, Poofy, not a lot of boost. Could be a shot from the Owls. Exy there to clean up Bankai's mistakes, and that will be very well played here from the Owls.
I got a little scared at the follow-up here by Exy, I'll be honest, because that ball started to look like it's almost kept going, but a nice, this is good placement Bankai having to push it away and they got them out of position. It's a great aggressive offense right there. Bankai leaving it for Exy. Exy sending it down. Can Poofy get back in time? No, Poofy was way too far up. What a hit by Exy, and they caught him out of position. Clover.
Yeah, I gotta say, very well played from the Owls this game. They definitely are turning it around as best as they can, and it's really starting to work for them. But there's still definitely time left here for the Huskies to come back. We're going to see a win from the Huskies. We're going to see both of the Huskies on the outside of the field. Mayo getting a great demo there, on Exy, but Bankai going to control this and try and buy his teammate some time to push up field. Bankai trying to fake out Mayo, will not work on him though. We're going to see Exy get a great 50 there, get another great 50 on Poofy, and really buying all the time in the world for his teammate on defense. But Poofy going for the shot, barely off though. Mayo, a little bit of a risky challenge there to try and put the shot on, and the Owls will capitalize on that and take goal 5.
I think Mayo here was figuring it's 4-1, 5-1's not much different. Maybe you're just trying to figure out some like some timing and stuff like that. It's not a big deal. 30 seconds now. You're trying to play for a little bit of momentum, get a goal. Don't let them score 2 or 3 more. You want to get something on the side, on your side, and you want Big Mo to dip the toe in that type of water. Mayo, a nice slow down, nice touch. Can they get it over? Bankai also though slowing down with a nice save. And Clover, I think the Huskies this game, they're playing really well together, and it's showing. Oh my gosh, what a Bankai. Wow.
I want to go ahead and assume it might have faked out Mayo because he didn't have a lot of boost, and he was expecting him to take a quick shot there. But well played nonetheless from the Owls. They really turned this game around so quickly as well. We're looking 6-1 with 11 seconds left. We're seeing a kickoff win from the Owls. Bankai trying to get a bump on Mayo. Can't do it. Mayo with a great save in a 2v1. Poofy trying to get the counter on this. Does miss the net though, and that will be game 2 to the Owls.
Ooh. I always like seeing the teams still try to score at the end. That was a great game by the Owls. That's a statement right there that you got to keep up. If you're the Huskies, you got to stay on. And they started off the game with a lot of pressure, and then eventually the pressure turned around on them, and the Owls just kept coming, and they scored 6 out of that one.
Yeah, and if they can keep up their momentum, then the Owls are going to be pretty hard to beat if you're the Huskies.
I agree. We got to say this. Shout out to Chad for being awesome, and we can't wait to see more Rocket League here. I believe the series is tied 1-1 after the Huskies won Game 1, but this one, again, Game 2 in convincing fashion. That being said, that doesn't mean anything. Game 3 is coming up. This one is a real big test because Game 3s are usually the ones that get people, their mental is either on or it's off, and if one team's mental can go down, then that can really end the series. But I don't see these teams I mean, like, the Huskies were playing hard the entire time, so like I don't see much of a change. I think this is gonna be a good game.
Agreed. And with how much how much pressure the Huskies had in the first game, it's going to be quite tough for the Owls to still compete with that, despite their goal lead last time. Now, we're going to see a kickoff win in the Huskies' favor. Mayo kind of faking out Bankai. Not a lot of boost to work with if you were him. Poofy getting a reset. Going to try and score this one. Goes for a little bit of a wave dash kind of pinch there, and it will work from Exy's clear to Mayo, putting that in the top of their net.
That's a great save by Exy, and Bankai unfortunately going for it too at the same time. Mayo with a nasty 64-mile-an-hour shot, and that was a I'm sending this to the back of the net type shot. So Mayo is going to meet, and Bankai in the middle. Poofy's going to get that mid boost, slow down a little bit, looking for a play, gets it over Exy, although I think Exy actually got a touch on that. Mayo coming in, gets saved by Bankai. Good job on the defense right there by the Owls. And it's now Bankai trying to slow it down, having a little boost, and is able to take the mid as it spawns, getting a good air drag and sending it in. Gosh, Bankai, Ichigo would be proud.
Agreed. And very good placement there from Bankai on his shot. But on this kickoff, we're going to have Mayo and Bankai meet in the middle. A little bit of a win for the Owls, but the Huskies are in possession here. Exy trying to fake him out a little bit. And, oh, unfortunately, I'm getting a little bit of latency if you want to take over for me.
I got you. Exy's going to hit this into the corner. Maybe you're looking for a passing play, sending it down to Bankai, who's there and sends it down mid. Mayo's not able to get there in time. They take a 2-1 lead in this game. 4:06. Still plenty of time, though, in my opinion. And you just give me a little nod when you're feeling good. As of right now, I'll continue on as Exy and Poofy going to meet. Let's see where Mayo and Bankai go, and they do decide to cheat. Good moves right there. That's 50's going to go inside Huskies territory. Bankai going for it. Back wall and no follow-up, and a good clear out by the Huskies as Poofy having the boost. Exy doesn't have any. Good job by Exy to get over Poofy. Mayo, a little bit of an awkward touch. Demo by Poofy. Can Mayo get it over Exy? Exy playing great defense and gets a good 50. Poofy trying to send it back and gets the goal. What a shot by Poofy. Woof.
I believe my lag has stopped, so I believe we're back, but great goal there by Poofy, sending it top left into the Owls' net. On this kickoff, we're going to see Bankai and Mayo meet in the middle. Exy trying to get the cheat. Poofy will win it, though. Bankai rushing back to his corner, trying to possess this ball. Goes up for an air dribble. Not quite the best first touch, but Exy will be there to clean it up for him. And that is a great play there from the Owls.
I mean, you could argue that's calculated like that right there. It's like, hey, by the way, go ahead and take it. And there goes Exy sending it. Poofy's not back in time. And my gosh, that's a really solid hit for where the ball was going. So Poofy and Exy going to meet now. Nice cheats by both. Another 50. It's pretty much down the middle. Bankai and Mayo meeting. Exy has that boost and it's going to try to get over Poofy, almost getting a little bit of a reset. Poofy is able to get the save and the corner boost, and now taking over with their own little air drag, looking for a play, trying to get the reset, can't do it, and Exy is able to get the save with Bankai taking over. And Mayo getting a 50. Now they have a chance. Can they get a demo? Slow it down. Unfortunately, Mayo cannot control the ball in the front as Poofy got, I think it was Exy, out of position. The counter, can they get there in time? Poofy does and gets the save. And that could have been dangerous for the Huskies, but as the Owls were not able to get it there, Clover.
Yeah, and we're looking at a big pinch there from the Owls over to the Huskies side of the field. Exy not quite able to get the shot on because Poofy will be there. We're going to see Mayo trying to get this corner boost and the ball, but Bankai will be there to block him off. Mayo taking this up to his back corner, getting it over Exy. Bankai up for the challenge because he does see that Mayo is a little too far away. Bankai with a flip reset, Poofy with a great save, Exy there with a cleanup, and we're going to see Owls go 4-2 with half the game left.
I still think there's plenty of time right here. That was just a really good play by Bankai, and the follow-up by Exy, who had the because Mayo had gotten stuck in the back. I mean, right there, nice hit by Exy. That was a powerful shot as well. So we're halfway through. This has happened before. If the Huskies just slow it down a little bit and also speed it up. I know it sounds weird to do. I think they definitely have a chance. Poofy trying to get a play. Exy does not have boost. Mayo takes over. Unfortunately, sends it away and gives it to them. Poofy's able to steal the boost, but Bankai is able to get it around, and no follow-up from Exy as Bankai trying to control it as we're getting down to 2 minutes. Mayo sending it up, clearing it to the other side, and Clover. The Huskies, there's still plenty of time, but I feel like the Huskies really need to get the Owls off of their, they got to get them a little messed up.
Yeah, they really got to tear off a wing here, and we're seeing Poofy, he's going to try to. With a 1v1 scenario, can he flick it? Nice. He will flick it, and that will go top off the crossbar straight over Exy, I believe it was. And that is very well played. Good possession, good control, and good placement.
That was a really nice job. Didn't panic, and then the just getting it underneath the crossbar, just enough finesse on there. So this is a game here. Exy is deciding to go up and hit it towards goal. Poofy had plenty of gas in the tank right there to get the save. Mayo is trying to push this forward. Bankai trying to collect it. Cannot. Mayo winning this one. A little bit dangerous. Poofy going down, but Exy with a great save. Mayo is there, gets bumped away. Unfortunately, not able to get a solid touch. Exy sitting back, waiting for the possible boost, and unfortunately, Poofy winning that one. This is dangerous in front of the net. And wow, Exy slows down, gets it in front of Mayo, and that could have been the equalizer, but Exy showing some, you know, ice-cold veins right there, Clover.
Indeed, and with a minute remaining, the Huskies really got to try something here. Ooh, that's a great pinch out middle from Poofy, but Exy will be there. Not quite on target, but that is a big miss from Mayo. It will give up possession to Bonkai, but that's a great early challenge. We're going to see Exy trying to go for his corner boost and control the ball. He's going to go up for the air dribble. Great first touch. Can't really do much else with it. Gets a pop over Mayo. Trying to get a pop over Poofy. Can't quite do it, though. Poofy controlling this ball in his corner. Will get the flick over Bonkai. Exy trying to pop this back into the corner for a quick shot. Mayo being able to clear this one out to Poofy. Bonkai going for the 50. It's not going to work out the best, though. Exy wasting all of his boost to get up for that ball. Mayo in his own corner. They really got to come up with a solution here. With 10 seconds remaining, it's going to be hard. Bonkai trying to control this ball and waste the time that they have. Mayo, he has to make a challenge here. He has to make a play. But Bonkai will get the better 50 out of it. He's going to try and flick it middle to waste time. Poofy, it is a 2v1 scenario. Can he get the goal? He gets a big dunk and will put that one in at 0 seconds. Very well played by the Huskies.
Oh my gosh, what a block, what a dunk. Nice try by Exy. Bonkai couldn't play bully ball and get Poofy, and now we're going to overtime. And this is game 3. I forget now. I think this is game 3, Clover, and we're playing some excellent games. Poofy's going to take this corner boost. I think going for goal. No, gets a little bit of a mistouch, I think. Maybe trying for like a flip reset. Takes the mid boost, though. Mayo avoids a bump. Poofy looking for the play. Bonkai and Exy, not enough boost. Mayo not able to power this through. Possible counterattack here, but unfortunately, Bonkai gives it away to Mayo, who unfortunately doesn't get control of it as well. So 30 seconds in, both teams had somewhat of an opportunity to do something and not able to get it.
Indeed, and I gotta say, Huskies doing an amazing job, but not quite good on defense. Exy capitalizing on Poofy's mistake, not able to control that ball. That's just very unfortunate for the Huskies after making such a great comeback as well. Just misflipped a little bit, not quite able to flick it out of their net. And Exy putting that one in. For game 3, it's going to the Owls.
Hey, you gotta shrug that off. That was an absolute. You gotta feel. You gotta get in your. You know what? Oops. Just oops, and then move on. Next game is yours, because that was an awesome game. You made the Owls really, really uncomfortable the entire game. So I say just keep it up. I mean, that's over 1,000 points for Poofy, who went 3 of 6. Or sorry, yeah, 3 of 6 with 6 saves. So I'm telling you, things were working out. Just some things didn't go your way. Just keep it up. I mean, I'm looking forward to a game 5, even though this is game 4.
Going into game 4, we got to see the Huskies turn it around here and try to make it game 5 as best as they can. With Owls on match point, it's going to be a little scary, but they really do have to play aggressive here. We're seeing, that's 12 shots from the Owls compared to 9 from the Huskies. And I'm hoping that we see a lot, I guess, just better overall. On Poofy's mistake there, it really does hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, you just got to shrug it off and move on and do your best. And I'm hoping that we see that in this game 4. We're going to see Exy and Mayo on this kickoff whenever it decides to start. There we are. We've got the countdown on this first kickoff. 5 minutes of a game. Let's see if the Huskies can make it through it. With Bonkai trying to go for the early goal. Poofy going to control this one. Not a lot of boost, though. But the Owls looking a little scared. And Exy bringing this off of his back wall. Will get bumped, though. And Poofy's going for a shot. Bonkai will get the save. He can't quite control this ball. Banged it a little too far away. Mayo going for the backboard.
Oh.
Bonkai with a little bit of an Eagles moment there. Kind of passing it. And did Exy get a touch on that?
It was a double eagle.
Oh, that is a double eagle indeed.
That's a
And that's
double
very
eagle.
unfortunate.
That is 2 wings. That is double eagling, and that is hard to do. Poofy's going to meet Bonkai, and that's going to get 50 into the Owl zone. And Exy with a nice pinch right back into the Husky zone, giving them a chance to get back. Mayo with a nice play on Bankai. Now they've got numbers. Oh, what a demo, but Bankai gets back in time. That speed is fast, although still a chance, but Bankai's able to stop it. Poofy having to turn around a little awkwardly to keep it in the corner and give Mayo a chance now. Exy trying to control the ball, does get one. Poofy is able to stop it. Mayo goes up in the air looking for a play, wasting, unfortunately, most of the boost as Bankai is trying to settle it down. Can Mayo get a pass on? No, cannot, and Exy stops it. As we are a minute through, the Huskies have a 1-goal lead. I don't see any panic in either of them. Wait to push that away by Poofy and get a nice touch on it. And I feel like the Huskies are, they're playing fast, and they're playing, playing really well right now.
Indeed, and we're seeing it. Ooh, that's a great shot there from Poofy, putting it top left right behind the defender. And great pass from Mayo, kind of faking out the reset, but getting a huge dunk to give Poofy that pass. And the Huskies are looking a lot better in this first minute and 20 seconds. We're going to see Mayo and Exy on this kickoff. We're going to see a big win here for the Huskies. Poofy staying on this ball, getting a demo on Bankai. Pass to Mayo. Could be another goal, and it will be. That's great coordination there from the Huskies.
Yes, demos, just angry shooting, nice passing. Poofy realized cannot get on that. Don't waste the time, get in good position. Mayo says, don't worry about me. I've got an open goal to send this ball into. And this is a good start for the Huskies. Still plenty of time for the Owls to get into it, but the Huskies are playing with confidence, and they are playing well. As Exy comes off the wall, Mayo comes off the ceiling. Mayo gets a win. Bankai catches it, getting chased down by Mayo, getting away from Mayo. Bankai's got a decent amount of boost left, getting the flip reset, but not able to get it in as Poofy is able to push this away. Exy with full boost looking to do something, slows it down a little bit. Poofy is able to get the clear off to the side, giving Mayo a chance to take over, looking for their own flipper reset, but I think Bankai gets something on there, maybe bumping Mayo. Exy turning on it and getting a good clear right back. So a little bit of back and forth here as the Huskies, a chance here to score, and they do. Bankai, nice play off the ceiling, good read, and that cuts that lead from 3-0 to 3-1.
And with a 2-goal deficit, with looking like momentum going in the Owls' favor, it is a counterattack, but can they hold through on this pressure? We're going to see Exy and Mayo on this kickoff. It will look like a win from the Huskies, but it is on their side of the field. Poofy trying to push this one out, pushes it a little too far. Bankai's going to take control over that. Mayo getting the clear on him. Exy sending it right back to Bankai into the Huskies' corner. Mayo has some time, but throws the ball away. Exy looking a little aggressive there as well. We're going to see trying to get a pass out middle to Bankai. Bankai getting a very... Ooh, that's a big demo from Exy to block off that shot. We're going to see Mayo trying to get a good 50 on this to Bankai. Bankai to Exy. Exy not quite able to get there, though. Poofy going to try and push this one up. Not a lot of boost, so he can't do a whole bunch, but Bankai able to clear this one out. Gets a 50 on Mayo to Exy off the sidewall. Poofy trying to save this one. He does. Bankai with a lot of time takes a shot to the crossbar. That's got to hurt. Now we've got Mayo taking a big 50 here. The Huskies looking a little low on boost this time around and kind of giving up their aggression. But Exy taking a big flick over Poofy, and that's barely into the net off the post, I believe. Just barely.
I mean, Poofy, I think, was expecting a pass, and Exy was able to get underneath and flick it near post. That is a great flick and a great goal to cut this lead even more. Minute 51, they're chopping into it, but the Huskies, it's not over. There's still plenty of time on this clock for them to score some more too. Poofy's no slouch. Poofy looking for a play off the wall. Can they get it? Cannot quite get the double tap in there. Nice touch by Mayo. A little bit awkward for Exy, who pops it over Mayo. Poofy's right there, gets it sent right back with Bankai in a somewhat low boost state, taking control. Great job by Mayo. Exy does not have the boost here, trying to get it, is able to take the corner boost. Poofy is able to flick one, hit off the post, cannot follow that one up to extend this lead, giving the Owls a chance here. Exy trying to get it around. Mayo does with a save by Poofy as we're coming up to a minute to go here. Bankai trying to take control. Great 50 by Mayo. Exy going up. Poofy wisely staying down. And unfortunately, that ball goes nowhere. And Clover, my goodness, there's still a chance, but this is getting quite intense. what a save.
Ooh, and it's a close shot there by
What a
Bankai.
shot.
Great save. And we're looking at amazing defense here from Poofy. And let's see if we can get a counterattack here from Mayo. Mayo to the back wall. Bankai with a pretty decent clear, but Poofy will be there to knock it right back. And now we're going to see Bankai trying to get a pass out mid. Mayo will be there to cut it off, though. Exy, not a whole bunch of boost. Will contain his corner. Mayo trying to pop this up high for Poofy. Exy on the back wall. He's going to pop this one out to Bankai. Bankai, a little bit of a fake, maybe a miss. Poofy pushing this one up onto the the Owl side of the field. And now Poofy going to control this ball, trying to get a dunk on Bankai. Can't quite do it with his momentum, though. Exy getting that his corner boost there. And close shot there by Mayo. And we're going to see Poofy with a big demo on Exy, trying to just waste the timeout, try and secure this game for Exy. Could have a shot here, but doesn't get the flick that he wants. And that's going to be game 4 to the Huskies. This game 5 is going to be so intense.
Yes, it is. This has been a series, like a little bit of like a back and forth, nice punch here, punch there, and like game 5 is it, and this is what we're all looking for. This is what we want. We want we want a nice close game, of course. We want to see some craziness, but this has been a very, very great series. Again, if anybody in chat knows anything about the playoff implications for this, I would love to know. But fighting hard, both teams. It is awesome to watch, and I can't wait for the next game.
And neither can I. We're seeing both teams really go head-to-head here in this game 5. I'm so excited to get this started. And with how many shots from both teams, it's going to be hard. We're seeing both teams play super aggressive and really trying to secure their win. But I want to see who really has the upper hand here, because we're seeing back and forth in the games, and I just can't wait.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has the upper hand personally. I think each team is like, they've shown where some of their strengths are. They've shown where some of their weaknesses are, but actually not too many weaknesses, to be honest. I think both teams have done a good job of taking advantage of mistakes. As Bankai and Mayo are going to be at this time, Poofy and Exy both cheat yet again, and this 50 goes inside the Owls territory. Exy misses the corner boost. That's a little awkward here, and it is not dangerous for them immediately, but it is starting to get a little awkward. Mayo trying to keep it in and does. Exy safely comes across, about to get demoed, but get chased away. Poofy gets dunked, and that ball's gonna go in, and what a start by the Owls.
Indeed, hoot hoot. And we're seeing a great big dunk there from Exy on Poofy, and very well played, kind of pre-flipping into that one. Now we're going to see Exy and Mayo on this kickoff. They're going to meet. Let's see who wins it. It's going to be straight in the middle. Bankai trying to get a touch on this, pushes it forward, but gives Poofy the possession. He's going to try and get a big flick here, but Bankai does cut it early. Exy could have a shot here, not quite quick enough though, because Mayo will be there. He's going for another shot off of the wall. Bankai trying to get it back in there. Poofy, not a lot of boost, can't really challenge that ball, but Mayo will push it out to the Owls side of the field. Bankai trying to control this up to his back wall. We're going to see him grab that corner boost, sends it out to Exy. Exy just barely off the post. Bankai sending this one right back in, trying to get this shot on, really showing how aggressive the Owls can be. And the Huskies can't really bite back here at all. Exy trying to put a shot on. Mayo clearing this one out. Poofy clearing this one out. Going to grab that mid boost, trying to stay stable as much as you can be in a situation like this where the pressure is just non-stop. However, we're going to see an attempt at a passing play from the Huskies, with Bankai clearing this one out. Mayo trying to get that corner boost, barely misses it though, but he will get the boost and the ball. Exy trying to shadow defend here. Mayo will get the better 50 out of it. We're going to see a pass to Poofy. Great save there from Bankai. Exy will be able to control this ball off of that save, but Mayo taking an early challenge there, and we're going to see another Eagles moment from the Owls.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You had plenty of time. I know Mayo was there to take it awkward. They had plenty of time right there, and unfortunately, you want that back. That being said, you got plenty of time. It's 1-1. Ignore that one. Get that out of your brain, because you have a chance to get an open goal, and you got the open goal, and you made up for it, Bankai.
And just a very fortunate kickoff here from the Owls, really bringing it back from down 1 to up 1 in such a short amount of time. It's really hard to do, but we're going to see Bonkai and Poofy on this kickoff. It's going to be a very tied-off kickoff, but the Huskies will bring it around with Mayo's cheat. Exy gonna try and push this ball upfield, has just barely enough boost to start a dribble. We're gonna see Poofy get a big 50 on this. The ball's looking just really stuck in the midfield right now. Exy controlling this up the wall, has 100 boost. What can he do with it? He's gonna go for a 50 on Mayo, does get it. We're seeing Mayo staying on this ball, trying to get a flip around Exy. Will do it. Bonkai is back for it though. He's going to try his best to control this ball. Maybe a pass to Exy, not quite the flip you like to see. Poofy going for a reset, does get it. It's barely off though. Mayo trying to just hold this pressure. They're really trying to send it back here.
I'll be honest, that was an awkward demo on Mayo. I thought Mayo was coming in to do the demoing and got absolutely bullied. Oh my goodness, a dunk possible, and then Poofy cannot get that set on target. That was a chance right there to extend this lead. What a save here. And then Mayo going in for it and almost gets that and is going to hit the ceiling, but Exy's able to get up and clear it out. And we're now over halfway through this game. And Exy with a little bit of an awkward touch coming off the wall, sending it to Bonkai. Poofy reads it. This is going to be hitting off the ceiling. Can Poofy get there in time? Does. Mayo with a follow-up, and there you go. It's tied with 2:03 to go.
It's looking a lot better here from the Huskies, and unfortunate from the Owls. A little bit of a double commit, leaving themselves on not a lot of boost to get back there, and it will result in a goal for the Huskies. And with how much pressure is coming from both teams, it's kind of hard to decide who's really winning here. And with a great cheat by Poofy, he's going to push this one up forward. Bonkai with a back wall catch, pushing it out to the side of his field. Mayo trying to get a flip reset on this ball over to his teammate, doesn't get the reset. Exy will get a great clear, and that might just be a goal. Poofy not able to get back to this one. It's going to be a goal for the Owls, 3-2.
What a hit. That's 73 miles an hour off a bounce? Oh, no, Poofy hit it, and okay. I got confused. I was wondering what happened, and I missed that last hit. What a touch, though. That's a great hit, and that is a little bit of breathing room right now, 3-2. You want that lead. Exy with a nice touch to put it back into the Husky zone, and we're starting to get to a point, even though it's a 1-goal lead. It's game 5. Nice pass to Poofy. That time is going to start to become a factor for both teams here. A minute 30. Exy trying to challenge Poofy. Does get enough of it and gets that corner boost in front of Mayo, who has to resort to getting that side boost and coming across and getting a block on Bonkai, who was barreling down from a pass from Exy, and gets dunked by, who dunks Mayo then, and as we're coming up on a minute to go, the action is ramping up. Both teams are getting crazy, and the defense is there, and Clover, I can't wait to see how this ends.
Neither can I. And we're going to see both teams really just trying to keep it in the midfield, trying to push it back to each other's side. It's going to go into the Owls' side. We've got Exy on the back wall, going to clear this one out, try and hold the ball. Mayo's going to cut him off, though. Could be a shot from the Huskies. However, Exy with a great save off of Mayo's touch. Poofy pinching this one out the wall to himself. Gonna try and go for a big block on Exy. Will keep it in their side of the field. Mayo faking out Bonkai on that touch. Bonkai with only 20 boost to his name. It's gonna be a little difficult here for him. It could be dangerous. But Mayo getting a bump on Exy. Exy not a lot of boost to recover there and get the shot quick enough. Poofy pushing this one right back. We're gonna see Bonkai pushing it right back again. And Exy's going to pick this one up for him. Poofy with a great save there. Bonkai going to try and control this mid boost. Can't quite control the ball, though. Exy really needs to buy himself some time here from this shot. We've got Poofy with a big bump on Exy. Bonkai trying to flick this one out, trying to just put this ball down. And Poofy keeping it up. Bonkai kind of stuck in the air for a second. We're going to see a shot from Exy. Poofy not able to keep this ball up, and that will be game 5 to the Owls. Very well played.
Oh, at the end there, Bonkai was able to push, I believe, Mayo out of the way, preventing Mayo from trying to get there and punch it up in the air. What a game, what a series that was. What an excellent, that right there, this is why we're playing this game. This is why we're here. That was awesome for anybody who was a fan of the Huskies. That you can't feel, maybe feel a little bad that they lost, but they played so good. And as for the Owls, what a win. that they could have easily lost that at any moment, and they were able to stay on. They were able to play hard, and they fought, and they fought just like the Huskies did. And this is what a series. Game 5. That's how you open up the night. Yes.
Indeed. And I don't think we have time for an interview though, but
Mm-mm.
this was such a great game to cast and so much fun.
Oh,
And
wait.
I believe we've got our next match starting here in just a few minutes. And wait, I believe. Yeah, so we're going to see Star League Dragons versus Hammerheads. I can't wait to see you all there, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Good evening, FDL viewers. I am Professor Freak. I am extremely excited to be joining you for some Spring Rocket League. I can think of no other sporting event that is currently going on that people would pay any attention to other than this. And I am very excited to be joined by Clover. Clover, how are you tonight?
I'm all right, man. I'm really excited to get into this game. We're seeing 8-0 for the Dragons this season, playing very well here in Star. And then we've got 4-4 for the Hammerheads. I'm really excited to see how this match goes.
Yeah, you've got a must-win here for the Hammerheads on that cusp of making playoffs, going against one of the few undefeated teams that we have in any of the divisions. It should be a great matchup. So I'm ready, Clover. Are you ready? Should we get the players into this?
I say let's do it. I'm really excited to see how this first game goes. And I'm hoping we're seeing a little bit of action here from the Hammerheads trying to take down this undefeated team because you always love to see it.
Now, does this look like an A lineup from the Hammerheads potentially? I don't think I'm not sure if that's an A lineup for the Dragons, but starting off, Haydiner is going to try and put that on net, just misses. Yukio putting it back to center, nice grave dash there, recovery, trying to get bumped by Moto. Tunnel Links trying to put that, does get 50 very well, but Moto is there. That's a little bit of a dangerous ball, and Yukio, just off the crossbar. Haydiner is there to clean up, and the Hammerheads strike very quickly, Clover.
Indeed. And to put in a word from what you were asking earlier, we're seeing an A lineup from the Dragons and a B lineup from the Hammerheads today.
Thank you for clarifying. Also, importantly, thoughts on the new goalpost sound? Love it? Hate it?
Honestly, I'm not a big fan. Like, it's really cool that they added something like that, but it hurts your soul when you do get it.
And I get it a lot. So, but yes, I'm with you there. Good pinch save there by Yukio. We'll see how much pressure the Hammerheads can keep up, but this is definitely a must-win game. That's a good shot there by Ton. Saved by Yukio. Just slightly off. Ton gets the bounce center. Not sure Moto what he's going to be able to do with that. He does play the ball. Light touch. Gets a positive 50. Yukio has boost in the corner. He's very good in the air. I've actually played with him on a team when I was on Korean Star. Let's see if he's going to put this ball center. Does get a nice pinch. Hay is right there, but blocked. Moto's going to try and get that ball out with the boost. Definitely pretty even since that first goal, Clover. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm seeing that both teams are playing very well, but it's just looking like the Hammerheads' defense is pretty strong so far this game, really keeping the ball out of their side of the field until right now, and that's very unlucky for the Hammerheads. That's going to be a goal from Moto, and very well played there, trying to just hold off their pressure, and just a very unfortunate touch by Yukio to give the Dragons a goal there.
Yeah, definitely a missed clear there, but a nice attack from the Dragons. We're at 1-1. I mean, I feel like this game could go either way at this point, Clover. It could be a toss-up. We've seen flurries from both, but I don't know that I'm seeing one team clearly ahead of the other.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But, well, you might as well take your words back, because Ton did not like to hear that.
Caster cursing definitely exists.
100%, and it's just plot. It's like fate has chosen your destiny. Or
fate is a cruel mistress, and she's not aligned with me tonight. But maybe the Hammerheads are going to bring it back. The opportunity there. I think Yukio's thinking Moto's gonna like dive forward to save that. Tunneling, clearing that ball. Haydiner misses the touch. Yukio is there in the back corner again. He's really good at those wave dash transitions. They're able to get that ball. Pinch doesn't quite go towards her net, but Hay is there. But he's very low boost. Yukio's got to get a touch. But that could be a counterattack as both of the Dragons committed on that ball. Hay's going to slow the play down a little bit. Goes for the flick. It gets dunked hard right into the net. Yeah, it's looking very one-sided right now for the Dragons, Clover.
And this is why they're undefeated as well. I must say, that's a great dunk there from Moto, sending it, I want to say, 65 miles an hour into the net? I'm not sure what the conversion on that is because I am in KPH, but we're seeing big pinch there from Haydeener. I guess I'll just call him Hay. Big pinch there from Hay. Moto's going to control this ball, try and keep it on the Hammerhead side of the field. Moto putting another goal in there. And with half the game remaining, the Dragons are really trying to show their true colors right off the bat.
These Dragons are definitely breathing fire right now. I mean, definitely a misplay by the Hammerheads there, but you cannot have any mistakes against this Dragons team. They're too good. They've been good all year. They will capitalize immediately. So how will the Hammerheads respond? Not well, unfortunately. Clover.
Unfortunately, no, they will not. And they're really just trying to put on as many goals as they can, try and get into their mental game, because that is what Rocket League is. It's all about mental, especially in these high ranks. We're going to see Moto and Hay meet up in this middle. And Ton, with a great cheat, not quite able to get the goal, though. Yukio going to try and control this ball. He's trying to flick over Moto. Could be a pass to his teammate, but nowhere to be seen. Ton pushing this outward to Moto in the Hammerhead side of the field. Will be in the corner. Could be a little bit of an awkward ball. Ton getting beat by Yukio on his touch. It could be a counterattack for the Hammerheads, and it will be Moto just barely not able to get the touch there. And that will be goal 2 for the Hammerheads.
You know, I feel the Dragons have played extremely aggressively in the offensive end, and it's definitely caught the Hammerheads off guard. But that's an example of where they were just pushed too far forward. You don't get a good 50, and you know there's opportunities for counterattacks. But obviously, with the type of lead they have, there's a lot of ground. Moto pushing this one center. That's a good hit. That's in a position for Ton, but he's not able to get that ball on target. A little bit dangerous. Moto's going to play that safely. Haydeener's going to try and control the ball. Got full boost, but Ton challenges immediately. Bit awkward, but Yukio should have that. Does get a 50, but that's dangerous. He doesn't have much boost. Maybe enough for a save. Does have just enough for a save that the Hay challenges early. Definitely back and forth right now since that flurry of goals. Clover, I swear, as soon as I say things are going evenly, the Dragons score. So I'm not sure how to commentate this game.
I believe Ton might be in this call with us, just listening in, because he has responded to everything you have said so far. But we're going to see Hay and Moto on this kickoff. Yukio kind of getting blocked by his teammate a little bit, but Ton, it will give the Dragons an opportunity, but Hammerheads sending it right back into the Dragons' corner. Hay trying to get it over to the back wall for his teammate. We're seeing a little bit of a backflip there from Yukio. It could be a shot for the Dragons again, and that is 2-7. With 7 being in the Dragons' favor, of course.
Yeah, it's just a solid 50. I mean, the Dragons get lucky there. There was a double commit. If Yukio gets a solid 50, that could easily be a goal the other directions. But everything's going the Dragons' way right now, Clover. It's having a hard time if they keep this momentum, imagining that they'll lose this series.
Yeah, and Dragons running their A lineup, it's really going to be hard for the Hammerheads to come back here. And that's a great play there from the Dragons. Ton getting the demo on the last defender, and Moto taking that quick shot.
Yeah, I feel like something I'm noticing a lot from the Dragons is they're not always going for the shot. A lot of times they're just going for the outplay to set up something else, either set up a boost steal, in that case a demo. So they're very unselfish, and they're just very aggressive. They're really giving it to them. But a misread on that ball, I don't think Moto realized just how much that was going to roll center, and he is not in a position to save that, unfortunately. For the Hammerheads, there is still a glimmer of hope. Do you think it could be done, Clover?
I do definitely think it's possible, because we're seeing more offensive than defensive. Not a whole lot of saves so far this game. We're seeing 6 saves total, and just a lot of shots from both teams, and Dragons obviously getting the better end of it. Moto up for his sidewall attempt. Will not get it, though. Hay pushing this one out to Yukio. Yukio grabbing the 100 boost. However, Tunt is there to block off his shot, and now the Hammerheads really looking a little scared here, kind of dug out in the ocean. And great block there from Hay, and we're going to see Yukio go up the back wall, get it clear out to the midfield. Ton pushing it right back, And unfortunately, it does not look like it will be possible, but the Hammerheads will try to secure another goal, but that will be to the ground. Game 1 to the Dragons. And in my opinion, it was a little bit of a landslide, and the Hammerheads are really going to have to change up their approach here.
Yeah, a ton of pressure from the Dragons. They were aggressive. There were a number of times where they did not have boost and were still challenging in the offensive end. And I don't think the Hammerheads were just prepared or expecting those types of challenges. So if you're the Hammerheads, Clover, like how do you adapt to a team that's playing this aggressively?
Honestly, it's just waiting for perfect moments to counterattack. When you see that maybe one of the dragons has used a lot of boost, right? Going up for an air dribble play or something. That would be a perfect time to get a big clear out, try and play ahead of your teammate, try and get a pass outward, get a good shot on. And as we could tell by that last elite match that I was just casting, we saw a lot of passing, and it really did show that it worked. And I believe if they can implement that into these games, it can be a lot closer.
Yeah, I definitely think they can probably be more cautious in defense. I think it's some of the panicking in defense that's causing them to yield these goals. They're not expecting the challenge. So calm defense, and you're absolutely right. The Dragons have overcommitted, but they haven't been punished for it as often. It looks like Hayes going to collect control of that ball. He should have enough boost. He's going to try and air dribble this into the net. Gets up, not able to get the reset off in time. Ton is challenging that. But Yukio is going to put it back towards center. Ton should have that. Gets a pretty good clear. Moto is right there. But Yukio is going to hit that back. Can he double off ceiling? Can he get the hit off the ground? Nope, unable to. Ton is there. Does seem like right now the Hammerheads are keeping the Dragons pretty effectively back in their half. What do you think, Clover? Is this an adaptation?
I believe so. They're just trying to get as many touches as they can. Even with their low boost, they're trying to control where the dragons are staying put, trying to keep them away from really flying and trying to bring them down into the ocean, I guess, if you will. Yukio, big 50 there on Moto. Ton going in for another 50 on him. We're going to see Hey, looking a little awkward there, a little nervous. With not a lot of boost, it's going to be hard, but he will get a clear out to Yukio. Yukio, not a lot of boost to work with, so not able to clear that out. Moto looking a little awkward, though. He's going to try and take this back to his corner, grab the 100 boost. Hey, will be there to block off his aerial shot there. And we're looking at the Hammerheads really sandwiching Moto there for a second, trying to get him off of this ball because they know how dangerous he can be. And Yukio going to control this mid boost, going to control this ball, bang it to the back wall of the Dragon's side. However, that is a big clear there from the Dragons. Hey, rushing back, trying to control the boost and the ball, but Ton trying to put a shot on net. Yukio missing his touch, but it should be fine. We're going to see Hey with a decent amount of boost to get a play off here. We're going to see Yukio get a big flick over Moto. Ton looking a little awkward, banging that up to his back wall, going up to fix his mistake. We're seeing the Dragons in the same corner. It's looking a little awkward. Hey, trying to get this out to midfield to Yukio, and Yukio will take that shot with 3 minutes on the clock. The Hammerheads are up.
And there is a double commit there from the Dragons. They definitely both do not need to be in their defensive corner, and I definitely think you have a misplay. Ton's trying to come in to help clear that ball, but Moto actually hits the ball away from him. So that's exactly what you need if you're the Hammerheads. You capitalize on one of their mistakes. That's also likely going to lead to less pressure coming forward. But we'll see. I mean, the Dragons responded very quickly, and I just have to start trying analyzing anything to get the Dragons to score. So, for those of you that don't know, Galloway did tip me before this to make sure I helped this team win by casting Gerson myself.
And that is an amazing redirect there from Ton as well. Very, very good angle right off of the crossbar. But this will be a kickoff win for the Hammerheads. Yukio trying to go for a quick shot, another redirect, but Moto will save this one. Hey, not the best touch, kind of throwing away his possession, tries to clean it up, but he's a little too slow to that ball. Yukio taking this up to his back corner, flipping this one out, trying to get it to his teammate. Ton is there to clear it off, and Moto not quite able to take a shot here. But with Dragons, a lot of boost to work with. We're going to see a little bit of a back pass. It doesn't work out, though. It is awkward for the Dragons. And Hammerheads they're really trying to put on as much pressure as they can here, and the Dragons trying to lay it off as much as they can as well. But as we could see, the Dragons had, not a lot of pressure this game so far, but the one time that they did, they definitely showed that, like, what they can do with their pressure.
Yeah, they're very quick to strike. Definitely that the Hammerheads have had moments of great pressure, but there's times where through either a misplay or miscommunication, they're letting it off. And there you have a double commit. I think Hay will be okay. Moto does get a good 50, but Yukio should have that clear. That's not a great clear. Can Hay beat that? He does, and they're able to get the double save. Great job, but that's a fantastic shot by Moto. That was a valiant effort there by Hay to get this first touch, block it off. I think maybe both of the Hammerheads helped in that one. But Moto there for cleanup. And again, you cannot give these Dragons anything, Clover. I feel like as soon as there's an opening, they're scoring.
Yeah, and like I said, they're really showing who they are on offense. Any shot they've had, they've taken it instantly. And if the Hammerheads want to catch up here, they're gonna have to try and go for a counterattack, especially with them being stuck on defense here for a second. We're gonna see Hayden controlling this ball with the 100 boost, but does kind of get it thrown away. Hey, trying to get a demo on Ton, keep him out of the play here. Yukio gonna push this one upfield. We're seeing a little bit of a wall dash to try and gain speed here. Hey, sending this one to the Dragon's backboard. Hey, Diener, to Yukio, to Ton, getting blocked off. Or Hey, getting blocked off there. Not quite able to put the shot on from his teammate's pass. Ton trying to go for the double. Can't quite get it though, because Hay will be back for it. Moto with 30 boost. It's going to be hard, and Hay is going to capitalize on him not quite holding the possession that he needs to, and Ton not quite able to make up for that little tiny mistake.
Yeah, a good dunk there from Hay after Yukio is able to get it just close enough towards their net with the challenge. And that's the type of pressure, Clover, you have to sustain if you want to beat this Dragon save. You've really got to make them uncomfortable. Opportunity for Hay. Does get a good shot, but that's well saved by Ton. Moto's got the ball. Going to let Ton have it, maybe a little bit of a give and go, but Ton maybe messes up his flip. Still there, but that ball is bouncing a little awkwardly toward their net. Moto should have it, should be able to get the boost, and gets a very good 50 in their corner. Hay is back to make sure this doesn't go to the Hammerhead net. Should still collect it. Bit of a double commit, though, from both teams, but Ton is right there, and that's going to result in a goal. Oh, Clover, not the time you want to see a double commit on defense there.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm assuming Hammerheads just thought, it looks like Moto's a little too far away from this ball. I might be able to clear it out and put them in a 2v1. But unfortunately, not quite fast enough, and it did lead to a goal for the Dragons, bringing it 3-2 with not a lot of time left. The Hammerheads really got to show who they are and put another goal in, but with no time remaining, we're going to see the Dragons take another goal. Hammerheads not quite able to get back to that one, and with only 1 second on the clock, it's definitely impossible.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate goal. I mean, if you are the Hammerheads, you have to literally go for everything because your only hope was to get a goal there. But it is frustrating to yield another one at the end of the game from what's been close. And the Hammerheads did have a lead, but the Dragons did come out on top again. So I would say more even. That game felt more even. You still have the majority of the offensive pressure coming from the Dragons, but it felt like the mistakes, the double commits, the miscommunication, that is really what is hurting the Hammerheads. Might be having a car change from Hay right now. That's definitely possible. Anything else you're seeing that you think the Hammerheads should be doing differently, Clover?
I think best thing they can do is to hold on to the pressure that they have. And double committing seems to be their biggest problem. Like you were saying, communication, it's going to be the worst for the Hammerheads, or the worst aspect for the Hammerheads today. And I think if they can lock in and get their comms right, maybe definitely less double commits, we're going to see the Hammerheads really turn it around here. But with Dragons at match point, it's going to be rough. And like I said, it's a mental game, and we just have to see who wins it.
Yeah, you really need the strong mental fortitude right now to be able to do what's essentially a reverse sweep. You have to treat each game as its own, and that's a good kickoff there. Hay might be able to do something with that. At the very least, threatening enough. Yukio is going to go for that ball. That is dangerous. Moto will have to save it. Yukio is still there. Miss from Moto, but Ton has it. Hay is challenging with zero boost. That's very much what the Dragons have been doing. Not able to do much after that, but he is making sure to keep the pressure on. Yukio faking, picking up the boost. And Hay does delete Moto. Oh my goodness, if that went in, that would have been unfortunate. The accidental own goal proves the full shot.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit anxious to call something specific, Clover, because I feel like as soon as I say it, the Dragons are going to score.
Yeah, and you might have already jinxed it, but nope. Hay is going to be there to save that ball from Moto's shot. Ton sending this one back in to Moto. Moto has a lot of time here. Gonna try and take a quick shot. It's off, though. Moto, with not a lot of boost, he will pick up this mid. Ton trying to keep it in the Hammerhead side of the field, and we know that they're good at that. Moto with a quick shot. Great save by Yukio, and going for another one. Moto with a shot. He will put it in top left, but my goodness, the defense from Yukio right there was actually immaculate.
That was a really valiant effort from Yukio. No boost, just manages to get that ball into the crossbar, but Hay is too far out of the play to come back and help him out when with little boost you can't recover fast enough. So it does seem like the Hammerheads are more willing to forego the boost to keep up pressure, but they're making mistakes like this, unfortunately. And if they're not more careful, there's still a lot of time left in this match, but the Dragons are going to run away with this. These Dragons are breathing some hot fire right now, Clover.
Yeah, and that's a great fake there from Moto, forcing Last Man to really go quick there. And on this kickoff, we're going to see Hay versus Ton. Ton getting the better 50 out of it, trying to steal the corner boost from Yukio. Can't quite do it, though. He's going to try and stay on this ball, hold the pressure that they do have, and with Dragons up 2 goals, it's really going to be hard for the Hammerheads to come back here, especially being stuck on defense by these Dragons.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall task, to say the least. I mean, slaying Dragons is never easy, but these Dragons are particularly dangerous. And looks like that may be a little bit of a better communication there. Yukio did take over possession, but Hay realized it. But I would say the Dragons have been very poised in defense this game, unlike some of the mistakes they made last game. Not double committing, and they seem to just be able to turn possession right around and attack relatively quickly.
Honestly, it's looking not too great for the Hammerheads right now, but we could have an offensive shot. Yukio not quite able to get the reset that he needs there. Hey, he's going to try and put more pressure on this ball. Gets a backflip to his teammate. Yukio kind of off of the backboard there, but will control the Dragon's corner boost. Not able to go in for another challenge. Ton will get a demo on Yukio there. Ton clearing this out to his corner. Moto looking a little awkward there in his corner, though. We're going to see Dragons low boost here. With Dragons, another shot will end up in a goal for Hay. And I think we're starting to see a change in their aggression here. We're starting to see Hammerheads stealing their boost, and as we can see, it did work out for them.
Yeah, really winning the war of attrition there. Boost starving considerably. Dragons did well given how little boost they had, but eventually they're far enough out of net. And the Hammerheads need to find a way to continue to replicate that type of play. Get these guys uncomfortable, get them boost starved, and then they will make mistakes, or they will just not be able to make every sort of save. But I don't think the Dragons are going to make it easy for them.
Definitely not. And still up 1 goal. The Dragons feeling a little scared here on defense. Ton not quite able to reach that ball. Not a lot of boost. And we're going to see another goal shot by Hay. And that's very good placement as well. Putting it right in front of him. Trying to just tempt him.
Yeah, good shot by Hay. Ton with no boost. Probably trying to back up to make sure he doesn't fall off the side of the wall there. But unfortunately lost all momentum to potentially make that save. Moto here on low boost. Hay is going to get that ball center. Yukio is there. Just off. That's a very close shot. Yukio is going to wish that one was on. But they're keeping up the pressure. Yukio staying up there with low boost. Hay is still there to keep the pressure on. Does bounce it towards the Dragon side. Again, good positioning there by Hay, just staying out perfectly to intercept the attempted clear. Nice touch by Yukio. He's hoping Hay takes that ball. He does, and a good 50. Overall, I feel like the Hammerheads are starting to change their playstyle a little bit, Clover. They seem to be adapting somewhat. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I do, 100%. And especially what I was saying before with them boost starving. Hey, great control, able to put that in the Dragon's net, and we're seeing another lead from the Hammerheads in this game 3, and they're really starting to turn it around.
Yeah, definitely a positive way for things to go, especially with a minute left. This is the latest that they've held a lead in any of the games, so this could be a positive sign. I mean, you know you have to win 3 games in a row, but you got to take each game on its own. I know, Clover, these Dragons are not going to let off the gas until this series is over.
100%. We're seeing great double off the sidewall there from Yukio, trying to send it out mid for his teammate. Maybe a bump on Moto. Can't find it, though. Moto, not a lot of boost, trying to stay on this ball. Yukio getting a touch back to his corner, but can't quite get the greatest 50 on Ton there. Now, Dragons really trying to get this goal back that they have lost, and the Hammerheads really refusing to give it up, but we are seeing them stuck on defense, and we know that that's not good. With low boost, it's going to be hard. Moto going to control this ball. He is looking a little awkward. Not a lot of boost to make an entire play out of it. Now we got Ton sending this up to the ceiling. Yukio trying to just put on some pressure to that ball. And with 5 seconds remaining, if the Dragons want to win this in a 3-0, it's going to be hard. But Hammerheads will put that to the ground and take game 3. We're going to see a game 4 today.
That's a good win by the Hammerheads. They really gutted it out in the end. That was a tough period of sustained pressure, but this is the closest. They've been outshot by the Dragons every game, but this is the closest the total shots have been. And I think Clover, honestly, I feel like each game too, the Hammerheads have progressively stepped up their defense. We're seeing more saves, we're seeing better saves, we're seeing less double commits. So if this momentum sustains, that's going to be the real, determinant of who wins this series. Can the Hammerheads sustain the changes that they've made?
100%. I think that's going to be the biggest factor, and after getting this win, their mental game is going to be probably a lot stronger. And with great defense this game from the Hammerheads, they're looking a lot better. And what you were saying, how they're progressively getting better throughout each game. First game was, what was it, 8-2?
Think so. Maybe 8-3, but yeah, 8-2 sounds right.
Yeah, and then in game 2, it was a lot closer with, I don't remember the score, but it was definitely not 5 or 6 goals off.
Yeah, it was
And
4-2 in game 2. Exactly. That last game, just edging out to the Hammerheads. So I'm very interested to see how this progresses, Clover.
So am I, and let's see if the Hammerheads can try and end their win streak. Being undefeated, we're seeing a big team bump from the Dragons, though, right off the bat. Ton, sending this to his back wall, trying to get a clear out.
Should never bump your teammates. Come on, guys.
And, we're going to see another attempt at a redirect by Ton. A little off, though. Now, it's going to be open for the Dragons, though.
That is not the misplay you want to have if you're the Hammerheads. I mean, that's a great shot by Ton, and then not giving up on the ball there. It's kind of the perfect read off the wall. I think Hay was just not expecting that ball to come back center so quickly, but you do not want to give a lead, and you do not want to give up a kickoff goal. Fortunately, it does not go. Hay is able to pinch that safe, but Moto is right there and looking dangerous. That ball does go wide. Yukio is there. That boost looks like it was gotten by Yukio, but this could be an opportunity for a 1v1. Yukio does play it smartly and gets the goal. Ton gets the demo, but not able to save the goal. This was a smart play. I like this, Clover, where he's slowing it down, not letting the defender get comfortable or expect a quick shot.
Indeed. And the Dragons, we know how aggressive they can be, and I want to see what happens after this kickoff. It will be a win for the Hammerheads. They're going to try and put another goal in. Hey, barely missing his touch to send that out midfield. Another little bit of a double commit there from the Hammerheads, and as we know, that will not work out great for them. Ton sending this off the ceiling to Moto. Yukio able to get a clear out, And Ton gonna try and get another touch on this ball to try and make the Hammerheads a little awkward. Yukio, with all the boost in the world, not quite able to do his best, but we will see a clear out. We're seeing Moto going up for a little bit of an aerial play here for the air dribble to the corner. Yukio gonna try and control this out to get a 50 on Ton. Ton will see the better 50 out of it. It's a little dangerous, but Ton not quite able to get that in their net. Hey, with 100 boost now, grabbing his corner and the ball, could be a counterattack here. Goes for the low 50. Yukio gonna grab this mid boost, but doesn't get the best 50 against Ton. Moto up for the shot. Hey, blocking that one right off. Ton going for a shot, and we're seeing demos all around the field, but Ton will see the better shot out of it and take goal to the Dragons.
And he just is able to spot Yukio's not going for that ball. And I understand, Yukio's thought process is he knows I could beat him to this ball if I just straight go for it. So he's probably going to rotate back. And that has not been the Dragons this series. They have basically, if they see an opportunity, if there's blood in the water, even though they're playing against Sharks, if there's blood in the water, they are attacking.
Indeed, and ooh, it could be a shot from the Hammerheads. Yukio is able to recover off of that tap off the back wall, and it's looking tie game with 3 minutes left. Both teams playing very well, I would say, and it's looking like pretty close. And Dragons, we know, as I've said this multiple times, we know how aggressive they can be, but I want to see more aggression out of them.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of great solo plays from Yukio. He's a very mechanically skilled player, and if he gets hot, watch out. I've actually been teammates with him before, but you know, this is such a great Dragons team that they're going against. They're not going to have it easy. Moto is going to clear that game out, or that ball out. A little bit awkward to read. It's a little dangerous. Fortunately, Yukio is back, but that ball definitely got away from Hay. Yukio is going to carry that. Will be saved by Ton. But that ball did get past Hay. Hay should have enough boost to save this. He does, but he can't get another touch. Fortunately, good rotation by Yukio. He should be able to put this in, and he does. That's a great defensive rotation right there, Clover.
100%. It's a very good save there from Hay off of his back wall to send that right to his teammate as well. And good placement on that shot, kind of giving it a little bit of style, I would say. We're seeing a kickoff here from Ton and Hay. It's going to go in the Hammerhead's favor. Yukio off the cheat, gonna take a quick shot, make him a little scared, and pressure rolling into the Hammerhead's favor this time around. It's kind of interesting to see the Dragons playing a little bit more passive.
Definitely, I think they're playing a little bit more passive, but I also think that's partially just due to how the Hammerheads have changed up. They have to worry about the type of solo plays they're getting, and I've seen one demo thus far. I don't feel like either side has played very physically. I feel like that's a dynamic that could really change things and change which side is comfortable. But yeah, we know the Dragons can come back from the position they're in forward. We've seen it, and they're such a good team.
Yeah, and we're going to see Hay pick up the mid boost. Can't get a flick over Ton, though. Now, Moto, he's going to try and pressure this ball, but does leave it, unfortunately. Gets a little faked out by Yukio's touch. We're going to see Ton clearing this out to his corner, and the Dragons with a decent amount of boost to work with. Moto using it all just to get this clear out, and Ton also using all of his boost, but will secure the Hammerhead's corner boost. It could be a shot from the Hammerheads. Moto with a great clear out to the corner to Ton. Ton popping this over Hay. Hay sending it back to his own net. That could be dangerous for him, but his teammate will be there to clean that up for him. Yukio clearing this one out to his sidewall. Ton trying to slow down his play, and he will just a tiny bit. Moto trying to block Hay's shot, will do so, and it doesn't result in very much of a 50 for him. Ton trying to put this mid for his teammate. Moto with not a lot of boost. It could be a little bit of a double commit here from the Dragons, but Moto with no boost able to get back for that. That is an insane save, and it could be a counterattack from the Dragons, and they will bring the game tied with 15 seconds left. My goodness.
The Hammerheads thought they had a feeding frenzy there, and the way that ball bounced and the way that Moto was able to 50 that, I'm amazed that resulted in a counterattack, but props to the Dragons for the way they defended there.
Yeah. And, ooh, that's a good boost steal there from Moto. Ton gonna try and get a goal for his teammate here. Moto taking a shot. Little off, though. Hey, popping this one up. He's trying to give his teammate a chance for a 0-second goal. Ton will drop this, and we are going to overtime.
Got a
Great kick
fairly
off
even
there.
kick. Both Hay and Ton are going for that. Yukio is up for this super early. That's very dangerous. Oh, that's not how you want to lose that game. I'm surprised Yukio went up for that just because there was no immediate threat, and that is a very hard read. He's a very skilled player, but that is a very hard read to make, and that's not how you want to give up the game in the series. So a valiant effort. I mean, bravo to both teams. That last game was very tight, Clover, and certainly I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and I'm honestly very happy with both sides' performance. A lot of aggression back and forth, really changing strategies, and it's really cool to see how they can, I guess, adapt to each other's playstyle. And it's really fun to watch how players can change how they play against people who are more aggressive, more passive, you know, all sorts of different play styles. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, definitely. If you're the Hammerheads, you're definitely disappointed in the way that ended. Um, but it looks like we're going to be getting the players in here for an interview. This will be, I think, the second time that I've gotten the opportunity to interview the Star Dragons.
And I believe this will be my first. And so far we have Hun. And
Hi.
is the other dragon going to show up for this interview?
He is not.
Ah, that's unfortunate. But Ton, I gotta ask, are you happy with your performance today?
You know, the game we lost, I was not. Missed a lot of balls, but I think the other games we were like, oh yeah, we're doing pretty good.
And I saw that your everyone's play styles on the field started changing a little bit after the Hammerheads got that win. I gotta ask, how do you adapt so quickly?
Well, the Hammerheads definitely changed it up. They decided to play a lot more aggressive, and it definitely caught us off guard at first. Uh, and then final game, we were like, all right, they're just playing hella aggressive, so we just got to give it right back to them. We're just gonna play counterattacking, and luckily we were used to doing that from some other teams.
You know, something I noticed, Ton, is like you were just so comfortable with low boost. Both you guys would say with low boost and attacking, and then a few of those real courageous defensive stands with low boost. Is that something like you've actively practiced? You just feel like it's something you're comfortable with?
I think it's something I'm comfortable with. Yeah, I usually am not the best at pathing, honestly. So getting just a couple pads and being able to kind of put myself in the biggest part of the net and just praying they hit it towards me is something I seem to be okay at.
Well, it definitely showed off to the point where I feel that in that game where the Hammerheads came back, they were almost like taking a page out of your book, like continuing to attack with low boost. So you guys are 9-0 now. How does that feel? And what are you thinking going into week 10? Are you resting? You know, knowing you've made the playoffs.
Well, it feels super good. Definitely unexpected, frankly. Never thought we would be undefeated at this point. Uh, I think week 10, I mean, we're still gonna give it our all, honestly. We're gonna see if we can go 10-0, and if we can't, well, no worries. 9-1 is still perfect. Uh, but I think, yeah, we're mainly just gonna focus up for the playoffs and see how long we can stay in there. Hopefully win the chip.
Who are you guys most let's say I wouldn't even say worried about, most conscious of going into the playoffs? Who do you think's the other the other team to watch. I think you guys are clearly the team to beat in stars, but who else do you have your eye on?
Uh, Honestly, there's a handful of teams that are still really good. I think Penguins still have a lot of potential. I definitely think Hammerheads have the ability to beat everyone. I mean, they're still like second, I believe. Uh, who else? Owls, I think, definitely have the power too. Like, I think those are like my top three teams that I'm worried about.
Well, definitely. I mean, we look forward to seeing more of you guys. This is the second match of yours I've gotten the opportunity to cast, and both of them have been a pleasure to watch. Even though in the first one you did beat the Penguins, which I had to be unhappy with. Contractually, I'm contractually had to be unhappy with.
Understandable.
Anything else from you, Clover?
All I gotta say is congratulations. I think you guys played very well together.
Thank you.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. We have an awesome expert match coming up next between the Hammerheads and the Unicorns, or the Unicorns or Huskies. I can't remember which one of them that is. And the Unicorns. That should be an awesome match. Very excited about both high ranked teams in their conference. Clover unfortunately won't be back, but I will be joined by KG again. But had a fantastic night. Clover, anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, I think we're good.
All right, we'll see everyone here in about 15 to 20 minutes. Stay tuned.
underwater. Can't let you go now. Making it so hard. You got to know now. Ooh, taking it too far. Nothing to hold now. I'm falling apart. Out in the cold now. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater now. I can't let go. Underwater.
Welcome back, Frontier Doubles League. I'm KG Fan 3. We've got Professor Freak in the booth, and we've got Galloway Honk Honk in the production area. We've got another game on the docket, Expert League, Hammerheads, Unicorns. Professor Freak, what's going on with this?
Oh, this is a fantastic matchup between the top two teams in their conference. So Hammerheads solidly in first with a 7-1 record. Unicorns at 5-3. Basically, Unicorns are hoping for the perfect scenario. They win tonight, and the Hammerheads lose their next their next game after this in order to take the number one slot. So a lot riding on the lines for the Unicorns, but these are both very good teams. Joining a little early, it seems. Maybe just checking ping. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see these guys go.
That might have been me. I told him to go. So Mayhem and Yanners on YT going to hit in the middle. Each team sending a cheat. Dunk by Dark. That's going to go into the middle as Mayhem sends it back to the Hammerheads corner. Ant moving up on it. Yanners getting a good 50 and is able to take that corner. Mayhem's going to try to slow it down. Not able to get that mid boost. As Ant trying to take control, is able to dodge a demo and get the mid boost, taking control off the wall, looking for a play to Mayhem. Mayhem can't quite hit it on target. Ant getting it taken over him, and Dark Oblivion not able to get a touch on it. What Mayhem looks like, I think Mayhem eagles it in.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Hard to not save this ball. Maybe he got bumped a little bit by his teammates, but this is a B lineup for the Hammerheads and a C lineup for the Unicorns for anyone that's curious. And I'll have to say that the only match that I believe the Hammerheads lost was before Yanners was on the team. Somebody originally left, and then Yanners did step in, and the team has looked really good since then, and Yanners is a big part of it. I personally wonder if he might be leading as an MVP all-star type candidate for Expert League, KG.
Oh, that makes it tough for the Unicorns, and that's a great point to pull out there as Mayhem trying to control it, can't quite get it around Yanners, who sends it back into the Unicorns corner. Ant trying to take control, Yanners sending it down. Mayhem's going to maybe go for something and hits it off the corner. Maybe for a double, can't quite get there. Demo by Yanners on Ant, and Dark's got an easy send right back in. 3-0 with 4:01 to go.
Yeah, that was a very all-in play by Ant, and really, KG, there's so much time left. You don't need to go that far forward. It's not a huge sense of urgency to score. Wait for the play to develop a little more, but this Hammerheads team is looking like they're the number one team in their conference thus far.
Yes, Mayhem trying to back pass Ant a little too far back, getting dunked by Oblivion. No boost for Mayhem, so Mayhem's going to have to get some sort of pennies. It's a pass to Yanners. Yanners with an amazing touch. Right now, they're just so much faster. The minute 15 gone by. Unicorns, I mean, it's just game one. There's still plenty of time, but ooh.
Yeah, they're going to need to play very controlled, KG. Be very guarded with how they maintain possession. You can't give this Hammerheads team an inch, or they will take a mile. That's a good shot there by Mayhem, getting saved. But yeah, KG, I don't know. This is a very tough task, especially when you feel like you're going against a player as skilled as Yanners.
That was the Unicorns, both of them ran away from it. Ant is going to hit this. Can Mayhem get it down? No. Yanners already went up and stopped this. Mayhem's going to hit it off the wall, maybe for a self-setup, maybe for a pass to Ant. Ant goes up a little too far forward right there, and Dark Oblivion's going to get another easy goal. And it just feels like right there, it was the chance was there, but yes, Ant was a little too far forward, and Dark read it really well, and the Hammerheads are playing really good right now.
Yeah, and they're being given good opportunities. They're being patient, and they don't have to do as much. The opportunities are sort of developing organically for them. I feel like if you're the Unicorns right now, you don't have to worry about forcing things. It's game one. There's still a lot of time left in game one. Focus on basically just kind of winning the game as if it were 0-0 right now and only a 3-minute match.
Yes.
Doesn't look like that's going that way.
No, no,
KG.
no, it doesn't. Unfortunately, they right there. I think Ant got a little bit hit on the back end, just a little bit, throwing him off. The Hammerheads are playing really well. Not only are they not letting up, which I like to see, even like in general, I like to see it because that means they respect the team enough to like not to take them seriously the whole way through. But like, you know, like it's also going to show you how like connected they are. Douglas can't quite get this, but Yanners is right there, 7-0. It's not even halfway through. And I would argue right now the Hammerheads are making the Unicorns look like they're a level down right now.
Yeah, they're making them look like they're unicorns without the horn. There's doesn't seem to be any weaponry on the unicorn side. And again, I still maintain KG. I think they're trying too hard to force things. They almost need to just kind of ignore the score right now and just look for a way to really just neutralize the Hammerheads and at least get things back to being a fairly neutral game.
Excuse me. Mayhem's going to take this out of the corner. Yanners, I'm not sure. That was a weird hit right there. Ant getting the 50, trying to push this forward. It's going to go off the wall. Yanners has plenty of boost, though, and is able to get this pushed. Unfortunately, it's a backwards clear. They need to do something, and then not able to get that back in there is unfortunately, unfortunately for the Unicorns. Yanners is right there, and you mentioned it earlier. Yanners is playing so well right now. And getting bumped out of the way, no demo. Mayhem trying to get it around Dark. That ball's going to hit off the bottom corner. Ant trying to get up, maybe faking it. Mayhem's going to slide this in, and that's a goal they needed. 7-1 right now with a minute 41.
That's going to be a big factor just in terms of turning the tide of this series. Game 1 is going to be a challenge, but if you can just focus on playing a game, proving you can score against them. I feel like the Hammerheads are playing very well in sync, so you're going to have to get them uncomfortable. You're going to have to bump. You're going to have to demo. You're going to have to boost stars them because when they're relaxed and in defense, they're just basically going to counterattack any opportunity they get. And there's an example right there, coming back, a good shot off the wall there. A little bit of a misplay from that clear, basically by Dark hitting it right back to Ant. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for the Unicorns, KG.
I do like that 2 quick goals. I would agree a little bit. That's some momentum on their side, and that was a nice, solid hit by Ant. So, like, that's another thing. It's to see these good hits. Yanner's going back wall. Ant can't quite get up there in time, and a miss. A follow-up by Dark doesn't get it either, as Ant trying to make a play here. Goes a little too far past the ball as Yanner's sending it right back into the Unicorns corner. Mayhem getting demoed. Dark is going to send this in. Ant is gets pinched, but Yanner's follows it up from Mayhem's demo, and 8-2. And right there, unfortunately, it's just a missed touch by Ant here that gives them an easy opportunity for Yanner's to get right back into it. So, man, Hammerheads are just on fire right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to give credit for Dark for how late he hit that ball. Ant is waiting for that to come, and it hits so late, he's not quite ready for it. And that just makes the awkward save. Again, you got both Unicorns there going for it. You guys got to clean that up. And Yanner's punishing them. Great save by Ant, able to keep that out. Yeah, this is a scary team, and keep in mind this is not even their A lineup, KG.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a little worrisome if I'm a team. Can Ant get this in? They can, and I love the fight in the Unicorns right here. 8-3. You would think after 7 goals in excuse me, I think they scored 7 goals before the halfway point, or am I crazy?
I think it was around 2:30 something.
Close.
That sounds right, and yeah, that's how you get them uncomfortable, making Yanners commit, getting the bump on the one defender, Dark. So they're going to have to force this Hammerhead team out of their comfort zone. But there's a great example of Dark being nice and patient, just waiting for Mayhem to hit the ball into him. But let's see what they can do. Gets demoed for his measure, and Yanner's going to take that ball back. KG, it's looking like this game 1 is very solidly going to the Hammerheads.
100% agree, and but I would like to say, because of the way this came out right now, as Dark tries to catch this and lets it go instead, the way convincing, 100% convincing for Hammerheads. They are leading this series right now. They should. I would like to throw out the Unicorns kept fighting and did not stop. 3 goals could have easily been no goals on their side, and then 3 other goals for the. They could have been 11-0. I'm telling you that. So that's a fight that the Unicorns had, and I think they showed a lot of grit at the end.
Yeah, if we were to solely look at the last half of the game, it would actually be in the Unicorns' favor. They scored more goals the last half of the game, and so they've got to be able to maintain that. And really, they're going to have to play so clean. They're going to have to avoid the double commits, the unforced errors, because this Hammerheads team will bite the second they sense blood in the water.
Oh, and I think they sensed a lot of it that round, and that particular game was a rough one for the Unicorns. Um, I'll be honest, I don't see that happening again, because I honestly feel like the Unicorns have, not that they're gonna straight up win, but they found a little bit of a formula, and I just don't see the Hammerheads just taking control the entire game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I think they've settled in a little bit,
Yeah, I'm a liar.
but Caster Curse. I'm glad I'm not the only one getting Caster Curse hard tonight. But yeah, I mean, Yanner's not letting off the gas at all. There's an opportunity there, and again, I get it. If you're Mayhem that situation, you think you're not going to push this far up. That's potentially dangerous if I hit this before you. But that's the type of player that Yanners is. He's very skilled and very aggressive.
Yes, and right there, that's an opportunity that doesn't go in either, because that right there, he had the chance. Ant gets a 50 win. A little bit dangerous. Yanners have to come on there. Can he get the demo? He cannot do it. He does do it after the fact. Mayhem sending it back with Dark patiently getting there. Ant not able to get this one. Gets the corner boost, but that's going to get pushed forward into the Unicorns' territory. Stopped by Ant Mayhem. Yanners with a great touch and a great save by Ant, needing to happen, because that could have been another goal really early, with a clear by Dark, getting it sent right back to the Unicorn side. But oh my gosh, Ant, I'm not sure what happened there, Progressive Freak, but Yanners stopping this one. I'm trying to give it back to you, so go ahead and take over.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing a nice open goal opportunity, really an overcommitment. I'm surprised how much of an overcommitment by the Hammerheads on that play. I think Dark just not expecting Ant able to get back to the ball, or at least going to get something on that 50. But yeah, I think this is just, again, the Hammerheads team is not one you can afford to make mistakes with. We've already seen some mistakes, and I feel like KG, they make you uncomfortable. You see this type of pressure, you see the way they're pouncing on everything, not giving you any opportunity to get moving around, and you don't play like you normally would.
No. And then here we go. Yanners able to take that mid boost. Mayhem with a good stop. Ant is able to take the corner boost coming back. Tries to get a flip reset. Is not able to do it with Dark. Really getting a miss there. But Yanners on from the demo by Dark. And that's something that the Hammerheads have been able to do, is take advantage of Unicorns being a little too aggressive, and not really maybe paying attention, because Dark was right there. And that's a big boom.
Really in sync on the demo plays too. I feel like in game one, it's like they're calling it out before it happens, and so they're immediately ready for when that demo occurs. But an opportunity here for the Unicorns. Can they dunk it in? Great save by Yanners. And pushing a little far forward, that should roll up against. He does get a piece of that. And Mayhem could shoot this from this position, not quite able to get around it. He's going to look for the bump. He's low boost, but maybe going to try to disrupt. Yanners is passing that ball to Dark. He's going to go off the ceiling. Oh, that's an awkward ball. Any touch on this, and this could be dangerous. It's a very awkward ball for Mayhem with low boost, and Yanners is right there.
Way. Did he get goomba'd by his own teammate here? I have to watch this again. Maybe not. Okay, I think Ant just kind of flipped to the side and just couldn't get up there in time. That is just unfortunate. They got to shrug these things off. Those 2 goals, they just got to shrug off. You're right there. It's a completely different game. Ant with a good stop. Mayhem's able to get it across. 50 by Dark keeps it inside the Unicorn's territory, but Mayhem's trying to take control, looking for another play. Gets it around Yanners this time and cuts that lead from 3-1 to 3-2.
Great solo play there by Mayhem. Just able to get back to that ball, shoot it quickly enough to beat Yanners on the challenge. I will say his car color, his decal throws me off because it looks great, and I keep seeing it and thinking it's a Hammerhead, but it's not. But yeah, that's a great way to turn around the momentum for the Unicorns. Can they score here? At least getting that on net. I think the Unicorns have to look threatening, KG, because they haven't looked super threatening, and for that reason, the Hammerheads haven't had to worry as much about them on offense.
No, that was an opportunity right there for actually two in a row. Ant misses that mid boost and then gets it stolen from them. Good job by Mayhem to keep this inside that zone. Yanners trying to make a play, pushing it forward. Ant challenges. Yanners wins that one. Mayhem sending it right back in. Ant trying to get a deflection. Can't do it as Dark gets that save. That could have been a good one. Mayhem with a great demo. Ant needing to get back. Dark pushing up on it, trying to hook shot. Actually just takes control, and Ant is able to 50 this one. A 2v1 for a second here. Is able to get it. Mayhem's not in the greatest position. Sends it back looking for a double tap. Is not able to get it. Ant follows it up and sends it in just in front of Yanners and ties it up with a minute 36.
Nice play there. Nice sustained pressure. Mayhem's not even if he hits that ball, he's not really going for the goal because he knows it will get blocked. So he's trying to hit it, keep it in an awkward spot. So it definitely really solid play thus far for the Unicorns to be able to come back from game one and keep this equal right now.
Ooh. Oh my god, if that for any reason went in, that would have been the craziest angle in the world. Yanners trying to follow this up. Ant slightly dangerous in front of their net. Dark is able to get a 50 to keep it inside their territory. Yanners moving up on it, gets a touch, beats Mayhem. Is that going? No, it's not. And they follow up by Yanners, and then a double follow-up miss. Dark's not going to slam it home, looking for a double tap, and gets it in anyway and takes that lead 4-3.
That's a nice double tap. Misplay there by Ant, just the misflip. And a tough ball to read when it's that far over your head, but you got to give credit to Dark for hitting that double. And, you know, as much as we've been talking about Yanners, we've got to give a lot of credit to Dark. I mean, whether it's executing on open nets, scoring when Yanners creates an opportunity for him, or demoing and making space. Like, Dark is as much a part of why they've looked so good in this game too, KG.
Yes, Ant with no boost, not able to get a solid touch on there, and a big win by Dark is now they have a chance to hook shot this in. Not able to get crazy touch on that, but maybe was trying to air drag that in. We've got 30 seconds coming up on the clock here. Yanners trying to keep it in, and does. Dark goes up for it, tries to make a play on it, not able to get a nice solid touch as Ant moving down the field with no boost. Yanners getting a good challenge on that, and I'm going to tell you something right now. After that crazy pinch, let's see what happens here. Dark wins that one, and this is getting kind of crazy at the end here.
Yeah, I feel like this is volatile, but I still feel like it's in the Hammerheads' favor because it's not anywhere near their net right now. Might be an opportunity. Can Mayhem hit this ball center? Both Unicorns players are very close. I think Ant may have been looking for a demo, but they just lose that one, KG. I mean, that was much closer, but the Hammerheads are up 2-0.
Yes, that's a much different game. That changes. Not, I know that the series that changes the series a little bit. If you're the Hammerheads, you have to be on your game the entire time now. That first one, you could almost chalk it up to just like maybe some nerves in the beginning. Some things just didn't go your way. The Unicorns have picked it up. They've picked up the pace a little bit more and more, and I think I'm hoping because I like Game 5. I'm hoping for a win by the Unicorns to extend the series and just prove what they can prove. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, too, like if you're Mayhem, you've got ping that good. You got to win when your ping's that good. But yeah, I'm with you, KG. I would love to see them come back, and I think one thing I'm noticing is they've got to up their pace, and they've got to flick earlier. The Hammerheads are challenging so early in the midfield they're not giving a lot of opportunity to really like get play. They're cutting it off super early. And again, I've scrimmed this team. Like I can comment from scrimming them that they go for stuff very quickly. You have to be prepared to do that early flick, to go faster than you're maybe comfortable with. So that's something they're going to need to work on.
And that makes sense if they're an aggressive team, as Dark and Mayhem are going to meet. Yanners is going to cheat, and Ant does sides not to. As Mayhem getting that mid boost, with Yanners trying to push this forward, and does. That's dangerous. Ant has to save it. Yanners is right there. Dark decides not to go for it, as Mayhem is able to get a decent clear out. Dark keeping it in. Ant awkward, but is able to punch off the wall. Bumped by Mayhem on Yanners. Good flick here. Opportunity for Ant to push this in, and that's exactly what they needed. They got everybody off their wheels, and that's a good team play.
Yeah, great play. I mean, Mayhem gets the bump on Yanners, and then Ant doing that early flick that I was just talking about, because Dark is trying to challenge him as early as possible. So a great way to start off game 3. This is, I believe, KG, the first lead that the Unicorns have had. I could be wrong.
It feels like it, because especially the way things have been going. So I'm going to go with that until somebody proves us wrong. The stat team is probably on it right now. Yanners stopping that one. Ant sending this back in. Yanners saying absolutely not. I'm on YT right now. Mayhem stopping that one, trying to push it forward. Gets a great push forward, and Yanners is not there, and that's a 2-0 lead. And I guarantee you they've never had a multi-goal lead.
That's a great play. I mean, just the ability to intercept that, get one touch, recover, get back to it. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to stop this Hammerheads team before they even have an opportunity to get their offensive play started, KG.
This is a little dangerous off the kickoff, but it goes wide as Yanners making an attempt. Dark is going to try to get something along with this, but Mayhem stops that one too. Ant actually went down inside the Hammerhead zone and stole that corner boost. So Yanners is on a little bit low. Yanners is going to try to get this, but Ant stops that one, trying to come down on Dark, but not able to dunk. Mayhem, though, with plenty of boost, comes off the wall. They tried to pinch it. I like what I saw there. They're starting to get a little crazy. Mayhem trying to chase down Yanners. Ant going to send this in. Back wall looking for a double tap. Cannot get this as Mayhem comes and steals this right back, keeping it inside the Hammerhead zone, trying to make a play on it. Dark doesn't have any boost, and Mayhem went for a bump. Not able to get that, and Ant is able to stop this there, Professor. That was intense.
That was a puckerer there, KG. That was very, very close. But yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Unicorns right now. I don't feel like they're trying to force anything. They're being a little bit more cautious, a little bit more careful with the ball, and they're going for bumps. They're going for demos whenever they can. So if they can sustain this will be a very interesting series.
Very interesting. We are getting close to halfway. Ant looking for a pass. Can I get a demo by Yanners? I saw that coming, and a double demo, not only to stick the just a little bit into the wound right there. Yanners coming across. Good job by Mayhem. That's going to come off the ceiling. Maybe Mayhem goes for a pass, but demo by Yanners. Mayhem with a nice flick, and that gives him a chance for Ant to get back. Dark missing this touch. Ant going up, getting a touch. Mayhem is an open goal opportunity if he can get it on. It does. Ant should leave this alone. Thank goodness. I was hoping. I just got a little nervous. That's
Is
all.
that DNA? You're like, I can steal this. I could get these points. Like, do I? But a wise decision nonetheless. And I think it's another example, KG. The Unicorns are going early. They're challenging earlier. They're trying to intercept passing plays before they happen, and they've gotten 2 goals now off of it. So clearly the adjustment. Great play by Mayhem. Really nice solo play here. Able to air dribble it and then basically dunk it in at the end. Nice using all of that Dominus hitbox to make sure that you cannot clear that ball to safety. So this Unicorns team is revitalized, KG.
I agree. That wide body right there, and this is another opportunity sitting there, although a great hit by Yanners, but Mayhem sends it right back in, and Ant tries to get that. Mayhem, a nice touch right there, turning back on it, but cannot get that in as Mayhem stops this and playing a little bully ball on Dark and succeeds. Ant hits it in the air, decides not to go for it, and gets 50'd by Yanners. Dark not able to control this. It's a little bit dangerous in front of their net. A 51 by Ant, but Yanners is right on it to stop it. My goodness, right gracious. doesn't matter what's happening. Both teams are really on it, even though it's a 4-0 lead. Again, both teams fighting hard, and neither team's like really, giving up anything. If that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. They're both playing. I mean, as if this were Game 5, as if every goal counts. Despite being met with aggression now, that the Hammerheads have not, slowed down their own aggression. But I think again, the Unicorns seem to have found a working formula. Great flick there by Mayhem, and Mayhem's having a great game. A lot of solo plays, some bumps to open things up for Ant, and this is not what I expected after Game 1, KG. I did not expect a 5-0 Game 3 in favor of the Unicorns.
No, I did not expect this flip. The Game 1 was a one-sided affair for the most part. Game 2 was an absolute an awesome game, and now Game 3 seems like it's going to be pretty much it. But that being said, there's the Hammerheads taking a goal away from that lead, and let's just hold. I need to hold off. I don't want to say anything.
It's just like you were saying, KG. Like, they're continuing with the aggression, so regardless of whatever the score is, Yanners is going to go for that ball, and as soon as Ant makes a misplay, doesn't get the clear he's hoping for, he's going to pounce on it. The nice thing for the Unicorns is they've built themselves such a cushion because of how well they played this game that they should be okay with it. You obviously want to play cautiously. I think, though, potentially the worst thing right now for the Unicorns they do would be if they play more passively.
I agree that you want to keep this up. Yanners, a little bit dangerous, almost an Eagles moment, but also you don't expect it because Yanners been playing so well. Yanners is able to get that 50. No boost, though. Mayhem's going to win that one. Is going to dunk Dark, and Ant is able to finish this one off just under 30 seconds to go. 6-1 lead for the Unicorns.
Nice 50 there from Mayhem, and again, just not giving the Hammerheads the opportunity to breathe. Don't let them have an easy possession to get it out of their defensive end, and that's really made the biggest difference. They're just much more aggressive, and maybe the card change and the psychology is part of it. Good save there from Dark. Amazing he was able to keep that out. But is this a Unicorns team revitalized? Like, what is this going to continue, or do you think the Hammerheads are going to make some adjustments now that their aggression has been met with aggression?
Oh, they're definitely going to make some adjustments and know it. The Hammerheads do not want to take this to Game 5. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to lose that much momentum. So I don't know what they're going to do to change it per se, but I do expect them to do something, because that right there was a good answer for the Game 3 and the Unicorns are just because Game 1 was a beatdown doesn't mean that the Unicorns are not in the series.
And I mean, look at the amount of pressure the Unicorns had. 13 shots to 4. I mean, that's extremely indicative of how well the style of the increased aggression, earlier challenge, earlier shots has put the Hammerheads on the back foot. So I think credit to the Hammerheads, they still put up a solid defensive stand, but with as aggressive as the Unicorns are playing, it's not going to be enough. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think this could be a momentum shift now after that, or do you think the Hammerheads being still they've two more opportunities to win the game? Do you think the momentum is still in their favor, KG?
I still feel like the momentum's in their favor, but I would argue that the beginning of this next game will actually be a big, like the first minute is going to be big, considering how the last game ended. They played, like the Unicorns played really, really well, and if they have a lot of momentum, it's going to make it hard for the Hammerheads to get back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Dark and Mayhem going for the kickoff. It looks like Ant should be able to challenge that, but Yenner's right on the ball. Ant does get a touch, going to keep that in a relatively safe spot and clear it out. It doesn't look like Dark is back, and potentially a 2-on-1. A good 50 there from Ant. Mayhem should be able to play this off the wall. Plays it lightly, but Dark is there to clear it out. Ant challenging very quickly, but this could be a little bit awkward. He should be able to keep that out. Mayhem going to dive at it anyway, just to be sure. And there's Yanners challenging early. Little bit of a miscommunication there from the Unicorns with both Mayhem and Ant going for that. That is something they've got to watch out for, KG, because I feel like double commits will hurt them very quickly against this team.
Just like that, as you say it, and unfortunately, this was a great touch by Yanners. Mayhem trying to come off the ceiling and do something, but way too late. Ant doesn't have enough boost, and the Hammerheads just took advantage of a poor, I would say, poor placement on the field. I can't even think of the word right now because
Positioning.
Positioning. Thank you very much.
It's also a P word, right?
I was gonna say I had a P word stuck in the brain, and I love it. Thank you for the backup as Ant gets this away from Dark. Ant trying to push this forward. Yanners has plenty of boost, decides not to play on it right now, and makes his move. Gets a bump on Mayhem, but not able to bump him out of the way enough to get this in. With Dark getting a well, I'm not sure what happened there. That was a crazy pinch leading to, well, look, yeah, look, watch.
Yeah, oh, that's almost looked like Ant didn't hit that ball. That's I know it's, you could say that's a misplay, but that's also that pinch was so fast. That's really hard to react to when you're on the sidewall already. So you have to give some credit to Ant there for trying to make the best of a bad situation. But it does not seem like the Hammerheads had backed off, but there they go. KG maybe pushing too far forward, and Ant is going to score one and cut the lead in half.
Yanners missed there. I think Yanners hits that. If Yanners hits that, that's going to be fine. Oh, this is going to be tough. Like, both of them playing pretty well, and they're also making some mistakes. They're missing a little bit of, I mean, maybe they're excitable. It's you know, it's not quite game 5 for one team, but it's an elimination for the other. So they're, as Dark sends this in, Ant has to stop this. This is dangerous. Mayhem has to come across. Good job by Ant pushing it away, and Mayhem getting away from that, because that could have been an Eagles moment. A follow-up by Yanners can't quite get that, as Ant is able to make that difficult. Mayhem and Ant maybe going for a pinch there. Dark is going to 50 Mayhem. Yanners has the boost, sends it in, and Ant can't get there. What a sneaky shot right there.
Yeah, I think Ant is caught in an awkward spot. He's low boost, almost trying to creep forward until he realized Yanners is on that ball, and that's a hard spot to position correctly because you're trying to pick up enough pennies to be able to make a save, but you cannot give Yanners an opportunity for a shot like that, or he will bang it home.
Did you see that? They tried a cheeky kickoff strategy. This is a pass from Ant. Yanners is right there. Mayhem trying to move forward. Bumps Yanners a little bit, but Yanners too strong right now. Going for another touch. Beats Ant, but gets demoed by Ant. Dark's trying to chase down Mayhem, and does. It gets the demo. Ant sending it into the corner. Yanners being nice and patient. Ant turning around. Mayhem deciding not to go for it. This is going to be dangerous. Can Mayhem get there in time? And does. Pushes this away, and that got kind of scary for a moment, but we are now halfway through a 2-goal lead and a pinch that almost gets cleared out. I'm going to tell you, this is pretty tough. Both teams are fighting. They're fighting pretty hard.
Yeah, both teams are fighting. I think the Unicorns may be trying a little too hard, if that makes sense. I feel like we're seeing a lot of double commits. I think both players want to go for it early. They want to beat the Hammerheads to the ball, but they're maybe not communicating with each other as well as they could be.
Excuse me. Yanners is going to send this up after a good hit by Oblivion, but it goes into the corner. Both Ant and Mayhem are there. Mayhem is able to get the corner boost. Yanners gets control. Mayhem is able to get a stop on this and take the side boost and get a nice little touch and get it around Dark, but can they get that last one? No, they cannot, and unfortunately, Ant can't stop this one and keep this either. Mayhem can't touch this one, and they're just not quite able to get there. Just not, you know, they're just missing a little bit here and a little bit there, although Ant dunks it. Can that get in there? And does, as Yanners almost gets a save as well.
That's a great dunk there. Great back-to-back 50s by Ant here, able to get that into their net, and that's where they need to be aggressive. They just have to make sure that they're aligned with one another so that they're not both challenging the same ball, because it's getting them into trouble. This is still very much a winnable game for the Unicorns, but they've got to play clean, KG.
This is a pass to Mayhem. Yanners a little too far ahead. Mayhem's going to get a touch, can't get a double on it. This is pushed by Dark, getting the mid boost, trying to starve, and 50 is won by Ant, getting pushed into the Hammerheads corner as we're coming up on this minute to go. Yanners is trying to make a play on it. The Mayhem is going for Yanners. Yanners pushes it in instead and extends this lead 4-2. They're just giving Yanners way too much time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know like Mayhem's so close to that ball there, and I'm guessing Ant is thinking, oh, I think my teammates got the demo. And the last thing you want is your teammate to demo, and then you're not prepared to collect the ball afterward. But yeah, I would say right now the Hammerheads are playing just a little too clean, not really giving any opportunities for the Unicorns unless really hard fought ones.
Dark is able to keep this in there, and this now time is becoming a factor. 3-goal lead, and Mayhem just sends it to the other side where 2 Hammerheads are waiting, and that is not good when you have a bunch of Sharks waiting in the wings. It's a 2-goal lead. This is time is of the essence. Ant is able to get it around 1, gets bumped a little bit, but has that boost. They need to score pretty quickly here. Flicks it backwards, unfortunately, and Yanners wins that one, and we're coming up on 10 seconds, although they need a quick one right now. Something good needs to happen to them. That's a back wall. Mayhem goes up for a ghost word. He can't do it as Yanners stops it, and I think that's going to be it, Professor Freak, as time ticks down, and the Unicorns' chances are now officially over.
I think you're right, KG. That was a great opportunity, but well defended by the Hammerheads, and you know they're showing why they're the top team in their conference.
Yeah.
This is a very skilled team, and you know that's not even technically their A lineup. So looks like they're going to clench that number 1 seed for the conference that they're in. Unicorns still in second place. I think they could lose a game and be okay, but definitely not the outcome they were looking for today, KG.
No, but I'll be honest, that like after game 1, the fight back to get to where they were now honestly is pretty good, because you could have just rolled over. I mean, that was a beatdown. But game 1 was a beatdown, but the rest of them were not. Well, I mean, like game 2 kind of was too, but these were good games. This was fun. This is a good series. It was just like you said, the Unicorns showed why they're top of the league right now, and they're going to look forward to seeing them on stream again when the playoffs come around, and that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and just confirm that the Hammerheads. But you know, definitely, I think if you're the Unicorns, your takeaway is that like you proved this Hammerheads team is beatable. You shut them out or beat them. What was it? They Brazil them 8-1, 8-2. Oh no, there were 3 goals in that game. Sorry. Um, they basically exposed the weakness in them, but you got to play perfectly to do it. So hopefully they can mentally prepare for that, depending on how playoffs are seeded, who plays what. But yeah, I mean, a good match. I'm glad I got to bear witness to it, KG.
Oh heck yeah, that was a wonderful time. I think I would have to say this was an awesome weekend, night of games. Each series today was fun to watch. Teams were playing hard, and you could see through each of the cards that were on the field tonight that they wanted to win. So this was a great night of FDL Rocket League, and I just got to thank not only you and the production team, but all the people in chat keeping it up. Thank you very much for that, and that's all I got, Professor.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I think great matches. I mean, this is a tricky point in the season because for some teams, they may already be out of it. For some teams, they may still be in it. Some teams, like the Hammerheads, may be solidly in front, but you got to give credit to all the teams we got to see tonight for giving it their all, even when the series was stacked against them. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, KG. I definitely liked getting to cast with you as always.
Yes.
And I'm happy to remind you of words anytime that you need it, even outside of the casting booth.
Well, I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you too. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. You guys have a great one and enjoy FDL.